The other thing that is so important is to add simplicity, to mix simple things with hard things. And I've talked about the benefits of putting mark training in the part of the back chaining element, like going towards this reward. But Silvia Trkman has a fun term that she calls forward chaining. And she will do what she calls forward chaining. So she gives the dog the first obstacle, then she goes 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the dog is now approaching the difficult 5 to 6 after already knowing 1 through 4 really well. So the dog's going, I know this, and here's something new. And I think there's something to that, because with mark training, you have a mark trained dog, they start on a mark, they're like, I know this. So 1 + 1 is 2. You give them the more complex thing. Let's say you're teaching channel weaves. They go through, they feel a little bit pressure, but they're like, oh, I did it. They land on a mark and they can go, whew, 1 + 1 is 2. So the dog has now been solid, a little bit like challenged, and now ends solid. So what's the dog learning? That learning is all about feeling grounded, being a little pressured by learning, and then ending with groundedness. So it really does create a good mental and learning environment for dogs, that they learn that it's okay to feel a little stressed because they're moving towards something that has a history of being an exhale for them. So there's lots of reasons to use this for the internal as well as the external prop-like benefits, which there are plenty of those too. So you've got the distance skills. I started teaching a distance class because the skill that's lacking is, in most people's toolbox, is they can't get away from their dogs. And so the dog passes them, turns around, and starts barking. So those people come in my class going, my dog's too handler focused. It's like, no, your dog is used to you being like 5 feet away from your dog. Your dog thinks agility is all about moving 5 feet away from each other. So your dog's going to pass you and come back going, you're too slow. And so the mark bucket, they're driving towards a behavior that they know and that they've been rewarded for. So what are you training a dog when you send them down a row of jumps to a mark bucket? It's going obstacle, 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 mark bucket, obstacle. Reward comes there, versus you throw the toy and the dog is doing the obstacles, going, there's the toy, there's the toy. Which one's creating more learning for the dog about what they're doing? The whole obstacle thing, that ends with the mental and emotional state of the mark bucket. So it creates a different kind of learning, and with less dependence on external rewards. I mean, I use external rewards, but they are icing on the cake. The cake is my praise, because it's been part of the whole reward chain all along. So my praise actually means something huge to my dogs. And so they're not looking at the toy that's in my hand, because they don't really care if it's coming now, coming later, maybe not at all. That the praise is become rewarding. And that's only because mark buckets has helped me develop the habit of having a moment going while I'm walking to the mark, saying, good dog, throwing the ball or whatever.